kung fu.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun and today I have another action classic for you in the form of 1989's Best of the Best. Now this movie, I have very much sentimental connections to this movie. I have very sentimental connections to this movie. This was one I reference my grandmother all the time because she was a huge action nut. She loved her action movies. And one of the action movies that me and her watched all the time when I was growing up was this, Best of the Best. Now, Best of the Best is a very interesting movie in the sense that it is both an action movie and a sports movie. As we know, from Karate Kid and other movies, taekwondo, kickboxing, Muay Thai, judo, all of these, there are competitions for those all over the world. Some of these are even there's even Olympic gold medal competitions for kickboxing and different forms of martial arts. Taekwondo and things of that nature. So it's a competitive sport. That entire realm of competitive fighting goes when people think competitive fighting, their minds usually go directly to the UFC or boxing, but there's more out there than just that, and competitive Taekwondo, competitive mixed karate fighting is definitely one of those, is in that category. And this movie surrounds what's the word I'm looking for? The men's karate/taekwondo national team, the United States men's karate/taekwondo Olympic team. Well, not Olympic team, but this is their national team, and they get invited to this South Korean invitational to fight in this tournament that apparently South Korea has every few years or so to fight in this tournament, and America accepted the invitation. Apparently, it's a very prestigious thing. And apparently, in my looking up things about the movie, apparently I didn't realize that that's just something that happens a lot. People I thought, when I first saw this movie when I was a kid, I thought it was some Olympic shit. I was oh, but then I realized they only fought the South Koreans, and it was weird. I was always why are they only fighting the South Koreans? But as it turns out, America was invited, the U.S. was invited to this, and apparently it's basically a tournament. It's basically an invitational that they've been doing for years, and apparently that's how it works in that kind of in the world of professional / competitive martial arts. Is sometimes it is the Olympics, sometimes it's a tournament that has multiple people, and sometimes it's just an invitational kind of exhibition as tournament that just iron sharpens iron, tests each other, because you have to imagine the Olympics and some of the bigger contests happen has such a long period of time, stretch, of time before you have those. So it's kind of good to just see your guys go out there and fight other people who aren't your own. It's similar, the vibe you get is this movie it's similar to just an exhibition, just a boxing exhibition type deal. But either way, America has basically gotten their ass kicked in this exhibition with South Korea for a long time, and James Earl Jones is coaching this, wants to assemble a team to compete and finally beat the South Koreans in this invitational that they've been getting their ass kicked in for a while now. They every time they've gone there, they got their ass kicked. Now they're not the only ones that got their ass kicked, but in particular, they've been getting their ass kicked. And the movie really follows these 6 men. Wait, hold on. I guess it might be, it's either 5 or 6. It depends. I don't know why I'm blanking now, but it follows these 6 men. But the 2 characters that you follow the most are Tommy and Alex. Now, Alex is sort of the lead for the most part because he's the one you spend the most time on. Tommy's probably the one you spend the second most time on. But Alex is this retired former prospect, high-level prospect, competitive mixed fighter. But he fucked up his shoulder, he tore up his shoulder so bad he had to retire. And he's kind of just spent his days, raising his son on his own, not satisfied where he is in life because, there's a classic story, and there's obviously a classic tale of someone of a professional, of an athlete having to retire before he was ready to retire, and it eats him up alive. And so you're kind of telling that story from him, classic sports story of an athlete having to retire, not feeling good about it, feeling like things were left undone, feeling like there was more he can do, and like he just feeling like the thing he did to deal with his problems was taken away from him, and he's been having a hard time finding something else. And then you have Tommy, who I'd say is the second / co-lead of this, and Tommy is just this Asian American from San Francisco, living his life. He's got this school opened up. He's a respected member of the martial arts community. He also fights in the competitive circuits as well, and like he's a well respected guy. But the problem that Tommy is having is he has a real connection to the South Korean team, in the sense that their leader Dan Han, the badass that he is with his eye patch, killed his brother years ago. So he has more than just a competitive reason to be in this tournament. He has a vendetta to fight Dale Han, to finally kick the shit out of the man who killed his brother and potentially kill him. The other characters are sort of, I'm not gonna say backdrop. I wouldn't go as far as say they're backdrop, but I will say like there's the one guy, Travis, the cowboy. He stands out just because of how much of a prick he is, and also because he's a heavy-set guy. All the rest of these dudes are in a fantastic, shredded shape. He's the only one that isn't. But as he proves throughout the course of the movie, technique, skill, and conditioning comes in all shapes and packages. And what he lacks in agility, what he lacks in the physique and whatnot, he makes up for just being nasty and having the instinct and having great instincts with his hands, as you see throughout the course of the movie. But he's an asshole. He's the classic asshole. Like, every team has an asshole. Now, it's usually like he's an asshole to other people. You know what I mean? Every team's got the Draymond Green, the Dennis Rodman, and that's what he is to this team. He's an asshole. He's blusterous. They had to get in a bar fight at the beginning of the movie, a classic bar fight to bring the team together at the beginning of the movie because of the shit he was doing. But in the end, they do come together. You also have this Italian, like the two characters that kind of get the short stick is probably the Italian guy Sonny. He's funny. Like the only thing you get on Sonny is he's Italian, he's from Detroit, and for some weird reason he listens to classical music. That's it. That is Sonny's entire fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Characterization. Which is whatever, which is what it is. You still like the camaraderie that they have. And the other one is, you probably get, is Virgil, the nerdy Buddhist. And Virgil's the classic dorky guy who knows all these things, but he's all spiritual and stuff, but he can fight. But so that is the team we got here. These guys are the team we're going into this. These 5 are the guys who are going to fight, and they're being coached by James Earl Jones, who gives a very underrated performance as the coach. You feel, and maybe it's just because it's James Earl Jones and he has that deep baritone voice, but you feel it when he is getting on their ass. You feel it when when he's getting on them about their personal issues. Because for the most part, this movie is mostly montages. Very fun montages, especially when they have the juxtaposition montage. There are 2 different types of montages. There's just the montage on the hero as he's working his ass off, and then there's the juxtaposition montage where they show the heroes working out and they show the bad guys working out. And when they showed the Koreans working out and the good guys working out, there was something hardcore as fuck about what the South Koreans were doing. These motherfuckers were running up stairs, running up long ass, high ass stone stairs and running back down. These motherfuckers got their shirts off in the cold and 15 and 12 foot of snow, just striking trees with their bare hands. These motherfuckers doing push-ups with their fists and getting smacked in the back with fucking sticks. And they're hardcore, as the Americans were just struggling to do the normal shit. And it built up this tension, because most of the movie is just this build-up to this finale. And it all is worth it, because the last 20 minutes of the best is some of the best action / martial arts / sports shit I've ever seen. This is one of the only movies only movies that's ever made me cry. Multiple times. I cried rewatching it. The moment where fucking Tommy finally has Dahan in front of him. He's whooped his ass. He's barely standing. And he wants to kill him, but he doesn't. In that moment, at the end of the movie, where the South Korean team has so much respect for what the Americans' gumptions, and they know the Americans should have won this, but they didn't. But they didn't because Tommy didn't want to kill the dude. They gave them their medals, and that line of throughout the entire movie, you're demonizing the South Koreans because you just see them as this antagonistic just wall, and you see that this one of them killed Tommy's brother, and he seemed so heartless about it. But then in this moment, after these two men have gone to war with each other, to see the bad guy that you've been watching throughout the course of the movie walk up to the good guy and apologize and say, "I'm sorry about what happened," you got the feeling, and this was a great job by the actor, that he never forgot killing his brother, and he never forgave himself for it. He never felt good about it. And in this moment, hobbling around, these two men, bloodied, came together and forgave each other. It was the most masculine, most man-crying shit I have ever seen. If there is a movie, like, not all tears are made equally. And let's just put it this way. There is something undeniably manly about two guys beating the shit out of each other and then hugging it out. Like, it just is what it is. Like, I'm sure women maybe have something like that. I don't know. But that is just a uniquely manly thing that it's like, yo, we had to let it all out to get to the core of what we both thought of each other. And here we are hugging it out in the middle of this ring, crowd watching. It's one of my favorite endings of any movie ever. And the action in that entire sequence between Tommy and Alex's fights at the end were just badass. They really were. They weren't just great action things. They were great sports movie things. And for that, I love Best of the Best, unabashedly. This is one of my favorite action movies. It's one of my mother's favorite action movies. And it still can get me emotional to this day. And I would give Best of the Best, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. For me personally, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. As a movie, maybe it's like a 7, but for me personally, I give it a 9 out of 10. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Move Show. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.